history. Okay, now what was the position of the woman in the society? Now, as we see that the woman was given the responsibility, okay, to handle their family, okay, like children are your moral responsibility, okay, cooking in the house is your moral responsibility. So all these activities, all this responsibility were considered as a moral to a woman, okay, and she should be staying in the home, she should be doing all the course of work, and then only she should be taking the rest. Okay, so this was quite evident. Okay, and here we'll see that the kinship would be turning completely. Like if we take into consideration the Mahajanpadas, if we take into consideration the Mauryan period, okay, we'll see that the say of woman is at least considered. But during the Gupta period, we'll find that in the family system, the most elder male person would be the head of the family. Now, if you see the Vedic period or if you see the later Vedic period, the condition was different. Okay. Now, during the pre-Gupta period, you will see that the elder woman of the family used to head the family. Especially in the latter Vedic period, if you revise all the discussion we have taken in the previous sessions, you will understand that the elder woman was considered as the most experienced and more authorized person to head the family. Okay, so here in the Gupta period, it is the male person which is considered as, or the eldermost male person is considered as the head of the family. So you will see that the woman participation in decision making at the ground level would be totally discarded during the Gupta period. Secondly, the untouchables were also at the harsh conditions. Okay, now here not only socially they were taken as a weaker, but they were also declined from the economical opportunities. Okay, that the woman cannot trade, woman cannot get into the society, woman if she is talking to any other person, okay, she would be considered as an impure woman. Okay, or a woman who is not principally or morally a responsible woman. So she would be thrown out of the society. Now there are n number of evidences, n number of case studies and stories which are presented by the Kalidasas and every of the court poets. Now here whatever we get it through the Navaratnas. Okay, Navaratnas. Now, who are Navaratnas? They were the court poets, court people or poets, people, poets or intellectuals, especially during Chandragupta II. Okay, so at the contemporary period of Chandragupta II, we'll see that the court poets would be narrating the social stories, okay, the social stories along with the king stories. Okay, so in this social stories, we would be analyzing that what was the condition of the woman, what was the condition of the untouchable or the lower strata of this society. Okay, so we get the evidences from here. Okay, what were the evidences we would be discussing? And there is one exception through the story, that the Prabhavati Gupta. Now the Prabhavati Gupta was a queen. Okay, now as she is from the Kshatriya dynasty, okay, she would be having all the rights to sit in the meeting, to discuss about the important activities, to participate in the economy. Now it shows that the upper strata women were quite better in the position if we compare with the lower strata of the society. Okay, like see here, it tells us about the rigidity which was being followed at the woman level also. Okay, not only in the polity, not only in the normal society, but at the woman participation also. Okay, now the untouchables were discriminated and they were being told to do all the unnecessary works like the waste management in the urban areas and the village areas, the leather work like cutting of the animals and getting the outer cover of this animal, the leather of the animals, and again reshaping it, building it. Okay, so all this leather work was being told to this untouchables or the Shudra peoples. And the impure occupations, like what are the impure occupations? Like for example, there is any death in the village or in the city, so all the rituals that would be done, like bringing the wood for burning of that dead body, okay, bringing the wood, okay, after that collecting all the relics or the ashes from that burned body, okay, so this would be also done by the Shudra people, okay. So these were some of the activities, unwanted or the impure activities that were being putted on the Shudra peoples. Okay, then the interaction with the upward classes was highly limited. That is, they were being putted the restrictions that they shouldn't be communicating with the Brahmin or the Kshatriyas, or there were very limited ways to communicate with them. Unless and until you won't be asked, you shouldn't answer. Okay, this was the system that was being carried out during the Gupta period. Okay, so this due to this we'll see that there was a growing discontent in the society. Okay, now you will see that there was a decline of the Buddhism. Okay, according to the Fahen. Now Fahen will be talking about that yes, Gupta period had the evidences. In the initial phase they had the major evidences of the Buddhism, okay, but in the latter phase the decline of the Buddhism will take place. Why? Because in Buddhism we'll see that more number of people used to participate, more number of people used to follow all this. Why? Because we'll see the Mauryan rulers, they also accepted the Jainism, they also accepted the Buddhism. Like for example, Chandragupta accepted Jainism, okay, and after that Ashoka accepted Buddhism, right? But in the latter phase, all this Gupta people would be typically the Brahmin people, and that is why they won't be staying in the Buddhism, or they wouldn't be having much more interest in the Buddhism. They will just show that they are following the tolerant policy towards Buddhism, but actual when there would be any implementation, they would be giving the first priority to the Hinduism rituals and the culture. Okay, now like for example, during the 4th century we see that the Bhagavad Gita appeared. Okay, now what is the Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the communication between the Krishna and the Arjun. Now here the Krishna would be talking about the significance of the Hindu cultures, okay, Hindu principles, okay, and after this you will also see that the in the latter period of the Gupta. Now at the initial period you will see that the Vishnu was being the main deity, okay, but after the sum of 2 to 3 rulers, okay, you will see that there is a growing significance of Shiva too, okay, Shiva too. Like first it is Vishnu who would be worshipped on the significant way, so first, and Shiva second in the later stage of Gupta period. Okay, so yes, Vishnu and Shiva were considered as the most prestigious gods during that time. And if we need to talk about the religion again, then yes, the festivals that were being celebrated in the Hindu culture, okay, they were majorly dependent upon the agriculture and the seasons within that particular year. So we used to follow the Hindu calendar, okay, Hindu calendar, and according to this calendar there were n number of festivals depending upon the agricultural season. Okay, like for example in today's period we also celebrate Onam. What is Onam? Okay, it is one of the cycle, agricultural cycle only, to represent a cycle, agriculture cycle. Okay, after that if we see Holi, okay, Sankranti, Makar Sankranti, okay, after that if we see in the winter season also we have different festivals. Than in summer or at the beginning of the rainy seasons, we have Akshay Tritiya. Okay, so all these Hinduistic festivals were depending upon the Hindu calendar, and they were related to the agricultural calendar. Okay, so agriculture and Hindu calendar reflects each other. Okay, so this is again the new invention that was done during the Gupta period. Okay.